screen. Hmm. Is the screen visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. So now we have two different categories in which I have divided. One happens to be an MCQ, then there will be some fill in the blanks. So that way we'll have both the options. Now you can start off straight away with this. What you'll do, some of you already know, I'll just once more repeat it. You will solve this entire sheet, keep it ready. Once we are done with it, then we are going to cross check our answers and you're going to tell me how many you got right. You can start right away. There are 30 questions. So my expectation is that you people should be done in roughly about 30 minutes. Let's target 1 minute per question. Let's follow that speed and let us begin.
Fourth one, this
Yeah,
mind if
I just, it was supposed to be R and yeah. Move beyond question number 8.
Just a
No,
second.
I'm in question number 8.
Sure.
You may proceed. Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Question 14 options are not in one page.
Just a second. Wait a second, I'll put down the options in the chat box. I don't know why a single page is not turning. I've put down the other two options in the chat box for you people. Shall I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? Done?
Yes, ma'am. Just a second, ma'am.
Can you repeat? Can you please repeat what you said? Should I move on? Still solving?
Yes, ma'am, you may move on to next sheet.
Others? One last question, quickly. All right. Everybody ready? Solve?
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you can use your microphones? Please raise your hands. All right. All right. Okay. So, Avantika, we'll start with you. Question number 30.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I chose D.
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 The economists argued that interest rate hikes are not merely aimed at controlling, rather they would serve as a deterrent. The correct answer here would be option A. Okay. Read out the sentence with option A.
The economists argued that interest rate hikes are not merely aimed at controlling inflation. Furthermore, they should serve as a deterrent to excessive borrowing.
Now, what would be the difference between A and D? What do you think is the categorizing difference?
Ma'am, should or would that last blank.
And furthermore versus rather?
I'm not sure, ma'am.
Okay. Now
Ma'am,
here,
furthermore is like seeing the future and rather is suggesting another alternative.
correct. So the first part here becomes similar. Yes. क्या कौन सा concept लगा है यहाँ पे guys? Subject verb agreement. Yes. Interest rate hikes. So hikes we see that okay, R is a good option here. The subject verb agreement goes right in both of them. Now we see the difference between furthermore versus rather. What is happening? Furthermore is showing an addition, that it is not merely this but also this. सिर्फ ये नहीं है, इसके साथ में कुछ और भी है. ठीक है. Rather, on the other hand, like you just mentioned, rather is always used whenever we are talking about some other option altogether. That rather than doing this, I would rather prefer to do that. Right? So rather does what? It talks about an alternative, not an addition. The sentence is focusing on addition, that not only this, but also in addition to this. So, furthermore. And then the difference between should and would. What would be the difference? Anybody? Yes, Suhas?
Would and should, ma?
Yeah, would versus should.
Should is like it is more compulsory. What do you call it? It's more determinate something. But would is like the chances are, it's less. Would.
Okay, so would essentially talks about predictability versus should always talks about an obligation or an expectation. Understood? So we talk about would when there is a certain probability or predictability that is associated. But when we want to lend a certain obligation or obligatory tone to the sentence, we use should. Is it clear? Clear, Abantika?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Yes. So 27, 28, 29 are also yours for the taking.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, 27D.
Okay. Why? If the emerging market economies continue their rapid industrialization, consequently, global carbon emissions escalate further, necessitating urgent international climate intervention. Isn't D going a little off?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I answered it in a bit hurry, the last few
Hmm,
questions.
yes. So 27th would be what? It will be option B. Okay. How? It will be should the emerging market economies continue their rapid industrialization, then global carbon emissions escalate further. Why? Consequently is extremely different. Here, right now, we are talking about sequencing. Okay. Essentially, the sentence wants to focus on conditional itself. But the first formal conditional if also has another formal conditional to that, and that is should. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the correct combination would be should and then. Option B. Clear, everyone? Then and consequently, there is a difference. Then is talking about sequencing. Consequently, talks about a cause and effect relationship and a direct result. Also, consequently happens to be what? It's what part of speech? Anybody? Consequently is what part of speech? It's an adverbial conjunction. Very simple. Okay? Adverbial conjunction. Got it? Next. Avantika. 28.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask,
Hmm.
would if and then be correct in this sentence?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If and then would be correct. Yes,
Okay.
because should and if essentially happen to be just two different variants. The formal first conditional happens to be should, and usually in conditionals we use the if statement. The popularized version is of course if.
Okay.
Hmm. And
Okay.
then simply talks about a sequencing, consequently talks about a consequence. So that's the basic difference here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So if this happens, then that happens. Okay. All right. 28.
D, I think.
Okay. Again, D. Why? The first part again, it's similar. The correct answer here would be B. Okay. How? The philosopher's thesis was revolutionary. So first part is similar. Subject verb agreement goes right. Then comes in although. Although the academic establishment initially dismissed it as radical. Now, why although? What would be the difference between though and although? Although ends up talking about a contrast, which is also interlaced with some sort of consequence. Okay, though and although they are used interchangeably, that's true. Okay, but then although is used when? What is the slight difference between though versus although? Anybody? Just try. Very basic things these are. Although always happens to be the formal one, and it also behaves just as a conjunction. Look at the sentence. What is being put to test? Your understanding of sentence construction and what part of speech is to be used. Okay. What happens with though? Though can function as both. Two parts of speech it will function as a conjunction and an adverb. So, one theme that you will constantly see in various grammatical aspects is the difference between conjunction versus adverbial conjunctions. Adverbial conjunctions are like double-edged sword. Why? Because that word can function as a conjunction, and at the same time it also works as a conjunction and an adverb simultaneously. On the other hand, although is simply used as a conjunction. Now, what would be the difference between the two? A conjunction joins equal units together. That's it. That's the function of a conjunction. A conjunctive adverb, on the other hand, does what? It tries to relate or establish some particular relation. Here, we needed a conjunction. Is it clear? Understood? Then comes in the last part. Yet, decades later, it became foundational to contemporary discourse. So here again, what is yet?
Conjunction.
Yes. So what did we do? The entire sentence was tied together simply by conjunctions of different degrees. Clear? We come to the next one, 29.
Ma'am, 29, it can be either A or D. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
choose one.
Ma'am, D.
Correct. Very good. Now read out the sentence.
Even if the legal precedent contradicts the plaintiff's claim, the court is compelled to overturn the previous judgment unless compelling new evidence emerges.
Great. Now why not A? We needed a concessive condition. Okay. What is happening with unless? Unless in its own self means if not. So what is it? It is essentially a negative condition. Understood? And within the same sentence, if I'm using unless twice, if not, if not. So two negatives make it maths. Two negatives make a positive, right? The sentence is going to lose its essence. Even if, on the other hand, is simply saying what? That until like this particular thing happens. Okay. And unless twice makes the sentence structurally incorrect. If not, if not. The correct translation of unless, if you ever want to understand whether in this sentence unless is the correct word to use, just replace unless with if not. Everywhere. You will understand if the sentence is holding or not. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, I hope everybody is cross correcting their answers. You have to keep a score, and towards the end, we are going to discuss what that score means for us. Okay. Next person who had raised their hand was Suhas.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right, Suhas. 25th. Oh, sorry, 26th.
26th.
25th and 26th both. 25th and 26th both. Go ahead.
Okay, 25th I've picked A.
Correct. Very good. Why?
And
What all
I-
concepts are being talked about?
because the deciding factor for me was the subject verb agreement for the socio-economic disparities
Hmm.
are among and the middle also subject verb agreement. That was the main thing. The second
Subject verb
option.
agree. Okay. And what else? Second option.
I mean the second word I meant.
The second one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now see, essentially, three things are being checked here. One is parts of speech. Yes. So we are also taking into account, uh, essentially, when we look at supported. Yes. Supported is working as an adjective. Yes, and it is also a past participle. So ये भी एक analysis. This is another analysis that we can do, right? Of course, the determining factor usually in sentences for us happens to be subject verb agreement. But apart from that, when you're trying to analyze and close read a particular sentence, just think there. The first option supported, it works as an adjective. So now you know parts of speech. Then we have the subject verb agreement, which is going correct. And then again, another one happens to be the subject verb agreement. So you know how to structurally not just understand subject verb agreement, but you also know what does parts of speech do. It tells you what is the function of this word in this particular sentence. What role is it playing? When you start understanding that, all of these different rules come together. don't simply rely on subject verb agreement, because at times that is what happens. We look at subject verb agreement and we end up choosing a particular option. But maybe the part of speech that is being used, that becomes error C, which happened just before. Like we saw that. Got it? Okay. 26th.
26th, I've chosen A, ma'am.
Okay. Why? Try and
It's same
explain it.
as subject verb agreement.
यहाँ पे तो subject verb agreement का concept ही नहीं है.
Environment assessment receive, like assessment is a singular. So
But then there are
okay.
two options now with receives, A and
Yeah.
D. Why did you choose A?
Because will comments, it has more, chance of happening.
See, it's very simple. It's the reason is not subject verb agreement. The reason is conditionals. This statement is a type 1 conditional statement, as simple as that. So when you
Oh,
go back and you revise conditionals, conditionals tells this thing that type 1 conditional sentence will always have present simple plus future simple as the arrangement. And this is a perfect first type 1 conditional statement. So if we knew this particular rule and we figured out that it's a conditional statement, you do not even have to worry about subject verb agreement.
okay.
Got it? So you got the right answer. Your hunch was right. But see, the
Yeah.
explanation was completely different.
Yeah. Got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, also please take up 23 and 24. Yours for the taking.
23 and 24. Oh, actually, 23 and 24 I have not done, ma'am. I was not able to do it in that time.
Oh, okay. You should always let me know, guys. No worries. Okay,
Yeah.
Anjali, please take up 23 and 24. Or take up from 21 itself. Go ahead.
Exactly as him, I've not done 23 and 24 also, but I've done 21, 22.
So, guys, when I'm asking you people, you can always let me know that, ma'am, you please wait for 2 minutes. Chalo, no worries. Advit, go ahead. 21 to 24.
21 to 24, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, 21 is A, ma'am.
Why?
It makes
Correct.
sense also.
21, 21 is
I'm
A.
sorry.
Correct. You're
Yes,
right. But why?
and 22 is also A, ma'am.
That is okay. Both are correct. Very good. Give me the reason.
Ma'am,
That is what we are testing today.
I can't put in the
Okay.
English.
So, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Like
this is
when
what we have to do. Wait. I'll explain very quickly. So, now, option A. The meteorologist's prediction was far from accurate. Nonetheless, the weather patterns deviated significantly from what had been forecasted. Three concepts are coming together here. Yes, we are looking at the adverbial conjunction. Far from happens to be an adverbial conjunction, means it is working as an adverb and it is also working as a conjunction. Then we see nonetheless. Nonetheless is another adverbial conjunction. And we see this here, there is a semicolon and then another independent clause is added in the sentence. Okay, so nonetheless. And then at the end, we have had been, which is the correct tense form. So tenses have been evaluated. So option A becomes correct. Got it? So what I'm essentially trying to teach you people, how to close read your statements, how to analyze them, break them up and see your writing, your spoken, your interpreting certain texts, all of it is going to improve exponentially if you do it that way, right? Now 22. Again, option A sounds right. Very simple. First happens to be the despite is essentially trying to understand conjunction usage. Okay, so we use despite Now, despite the pharmaceutical company's extensive clinical trials, regulatory approval was. Now here, classic subject verb agreement. Understood? एक और चीज इसमें कवर होती है, one more rule gets covered. Despite of नहीं होता है. There is nothing known as despite of. Okay, remember this thing. Despite always comes by itself. That's it. We have in spite of, but we do not have despite of. And this is a very common mistake that we do end up making. Clear? Next, 23, 24.
Mama, in spite and despite, can you elaborate the differences, ma'am?
Yes, for sure. Anybody wants to take a try though? Despite versus in spite. Let's say I end up saying, and just think about it. If I say that despite getting the work done, the director was angry at me. Okay. In spite of completing the work, the director was muffled or whatever it is. What happened? Despite the rains, I decided to travel. In spite of the rain, I decided to travel. Very basic. The meaning is same.
Ma'am,
It's
is despite
interchangeable.
like contradiction?
In spite of is also contradiction only, but then the basic, if I have to talk about the explanation, despite directly mentions uh, contradiction. In spite of simply happens to be a phrase which has to be used as it is. It's a three-word phrase. So you will never have in spite, spite of. It is always in spite of. It's a three-word phrase that has to be compulsorily used just like that. Despite, by the sound of it, directly tells us there is a contrast that we are talking of. In spite of falls more in the category of regardless. Got it? So the
Okay.
only difference that exists between spite of and despite is the structuring. Despite is always followed strictly by a noun or an ing gerund, and then we have in spite of, and then after in spite of, usually we find uh, nouns mostly, and then of course at places gerunds also if in spite of is not at the start, rather within the sentence. So one simple example is I'll say mm, in spite of the rain. Okay, so now in spite of it's starting. On the other hand, I'm saying let's say uh, I decided to travel uh, in spite of the constant raining. ing format. So that's the only difference. Despite के साथ में कभी भी off नहीं आता. The crucial takeaway happens to be despite of is nothing, and in many exams they end up giving this particular option, and we think that it's correct, but it's not. Clear?
So if I'm to summarize, sum up, ma'am, despite is always, it always comes at the beginning of the sentence.
You can mostly it is used at the start. It can also be placed in the middle,
Okay,
but
and
mostly structurally it will be at the start.
okay, ma'am. And in spite of, so there's no
Huh.
despite of, okay.
No,
And
no despite of.
in
Okay.
spite of is always for it can be followed by ing.
Yes.
But
Despite is also followed by ing. But with despite, again, you will see that usually with despite, ing format comes or is evident more. But, or either it will be the noun. With in spite of also that happens, but then again, whatever is popularized, वो वाली चीज है. It is frequency based. But
Okay.
despite, you will usually see ing more, nouns less. In spite of, usually people end up using nouns more because of is a preposition. So by default, when you are constructing a sentence, you are usually going to see the frequency of that more. However, both can use gerunds and nouns. Got it?
And next one, 23rd, ma'am. 23rd is
Hmm.
option D, ma'am.
D.
D, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Why? The architect's vision for the sustainable building. आगे का sentence देखो. Look at the sentence following it. Warned that the blueprint, it has to belong to the past. Has been and warned do not go together,
Okay.
right? So the
Oh,
architect's vision for the sustainable building, this will be
A then.
yes, not A, B bola,
What?
was. The
Was.
architect's vision for the sustainable building was revolutionary. Nevertheless, structural engineers warned that the blueprint might require modifications to ensure safety compliance. Okay, so simple past. Why? Because we see that the next verb, the next continuous clause has a verb in the past. So the previous one also has to be in the past. We cannot jump tenses, right? First thing, yes. And then we have might. Why? Because might simply talks about a possibility for future requirement. So we cannot skip tenses here within the same sentence.
Ma'am, why can't it be A?
The architect's vision for the sustainable building proved to be revolutionary होगा ना फिर,
Ah,
right? So
yes,
the
ma'am.
verb would require the next verb to become, there has to be to be to balance out the sentence structurally. Got it? 24th?
24th, ma'am. I think that is B, ma'am.
Correct. B. Why? 24th is B.
B, ma'am.
Correct.
B for Bengaluru. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Why?
Uh, because because if they had like
One
it
word.
also
I'll tell you one sentence. Third conditional. This is type 3 conditional statement. See. Hypothetical past plus past perfect. Simple. Conditionals. Revise your conditionals and tenses together, guys. You will understand all the sentences as to why this is sounding right. Why is this correct? Why do we end up using this particular combination? This is type 3 sentence. Straight away.
okay, ma'am.
Type 3 conditional. Got it?
Yes,
Ma'am, I
ma'am.
had a doubt about 23.
Hmm.
Apart from nevertheless,
Hmm.
which other among however yet and still fit?
As in?
As in, can any of the, for the middle blank, for the second blank,
Yeah, for the second blank.
yeah, do any
See,
other words?
yet and still are not going to fit in at all because yet and still happen to be very basic conjunctions. They are the fanboys, coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions, what do? They simply just add on the sentence. Equal
Okay.
units. That's it. Nevertheless is what? It's a conjunctive adverb. So you will always see यहाँ पे again, there's a semicolon and then the sentence is starting again. What does this tell us? These semicolons tell us that there are two independent sentences together in this, two clauses coming in together in this sentence. This happens to be part 1. Okay, clause 1. Now you are adding clause 2. Whenever two clauses, sound clauses are coming together, what would you require to conjoin them within the same sentence? A conjunctive adverb. Conjunction, it will function as a conjunction also, it will function as an adverb also, pushing the sentence forward. Yet, still, all of these happen to be basic conjunctions that will simply join two sentences.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Got it. Yeah.
That's why you will never see and, or, and these words, these conjunctions written after a semicolon.
Yeah. They
You will
can't
always
start a
find,
sentence.
yes, they cannot. They might start a very basic sentence from the start, that and I will do this in dialogue writing perhaps, or creative writing, but you will never see them with a semicolon.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So now 21 to 30. How many went right for all of you?
7 correct, ma.
Okay. Keep a tab of that. Okay. All right. Next, yes. Anjali, were you able to finish 20?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember. 20, I wrote A.
Okay. It will be B.
Okay.
Okay. 20 is B.
So yet and.
Hmm.
The answer.
What would be the characterizing difference between yet and?
There's no contrast, it's just adding simply.
They fall in the same category. But and always brings two similar ideas together. For example, Anjali and Abantika are two students of mine, right? Yet
Yes.
always brings in contrast.
Uh-huh.
Got
Okay.
it? It's similar to
Yeah.
but. Fanboys may, but, and yet. These are two conjunctions that are bringing in contrasting ideas together.
Yeah,
But
I
and,
put distinct perspective and collectively I thought that was supposed to be the contrast.
yeah,
So I went for yet.
yeah, got it. But the sentence is doing what here? It is
It's joining
joining,
some
yeah, it's
similar, yeah.
joining parallel elements together. Got it?
Yeah.
Everybody understood?
Ma'am, this answer, my option what I had chosen is wrong, ma. I had chosen C, ma. Why not which collectively provide?
Now, here again, we have to look at the sentence. What would be the difference between which versus the other two? Which is what? What part of speech? Also, then, provide. So, the anthology comprises essays by renowned scholars, great, each offering a distinct perspective on postmodern literature, which collectively provide. सब्जेक्ट वर्ब अग्रीमेंट ही गलत हो जाएगा. एंथोलॉजी है मेरा सब्जेक्ट.
Yes, ma'am.
और प्रोवाइड
It's
है ना पहली चीज. दूसरा, अगर चलो ये प्रोवाइड्स हो गया, let's say that it is converted to provides. Now, which versus a conjunction, which would be what? Anybody? जैसे which versus that, ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा confusion होता है. Tell me. When do we use which, that, and all of these? And is a conjunction. It is bringing in parallel ideas together, which happens to be a relative pronoun. Okay, so in this particular sentence, we already have everything together. We do not require another pronoun to go back to the anthology. The sentence is simply expanding on what are the different elements coming together. That's why I give the example of Anjali and Abantika. That means the sentence is treating these two ideas as parallels. Okay, that these are the elements that I'm listing. There is no indication required, which will come in when we have to indicate on a particular thing. For example, the factors which contribute to this are. Understood?
Okay.
Clear enough?
Okay.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now, very quickly, 17, 18, 19. Any takers? Amisha? Amisha is silent. Yes? Okay. Vanya? Everybody is silent today. Janvi?
Tanaima?
Okay. We go back to Avantika then. Wait. Yes, Avantika.
Ma'am, I think someone said, can I?
That was Advait only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. 17A.
17A. Yes. Why?
Ma'am, because
Because we've just discussed it. Conjunction usage. Despite, and then we are using in the gerund, the sentence becomes structurally correct. A is correct. Next, 18.
18 also A.
Correct. Why? Subject verb agreement and tense. Both the things have been tested here. Completely complies with the rules of tenses and subject verb agreement. इस तरीके से you have to learn to analyze your sentences like this. What all concepts can I apply on this particular sentence? It's just one sentence and see so many grammatical concepts are coming together. 19.
C.
No. 19 will be A.
A. Yes.
Why?
Ma'am, I think the second part will be the tense. We have to focus on the tense.
This is first conditional. Subjunctive. Should आ गया है ना? Should the negotiations. Okay. So if the negotiations come, formal conditional आ जाएगा. Then we'll have would be. Conditional statement है ये सीधे सीधे essentially. So when you study conditionals, for that you need to have a strong base of tenses. Because conditionals is very simple. Conditional is like basic maths. They'll tell you type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3, mixed conditional. So what mix is going to go with what? There's a whole table of it. Just 5, 6 altercations. You learn them, you know clearly just to look at the sentence and you will not go like it sounds right. You will know because that is the rule. And we simply have to learn it. It's like maths. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. And I will do that.
Okay. Then, okay, we have 15, 16 as well. Avantika, go ahead.
Ma'am, 15B. Ma'am, actually, I'm confused. I forgot. I remember you told us that when there is neither and nor, We have to
Hmm.
focus on either the first one or the second one. So I forgot which one we have to focus on.
Right. So you chose which one?
Ma'am, I chose B. I think I chose the
Correct,
second
correct,
one.
correct. B is correct. So everybody remember this thing. Whenever you see coordinating conjunctions, these are known as coordinating conjunctions. They are always coming in pairs together. Okay, not only but also, neither nor, either or. Okay. So what will you do? Let's say you have neither nor together. Neither, okay, nor. So you have one subject plus another. It's a compound subject. You have two subjects coming together. There is the CEO and there are the board of directors. You will always focus. This also applies for or and nor. Whatever subject is there after or nor, that determines the verb. Because we are saying the board of directors, this becomes important and we use were. Had the sentence been opposite, had it been neither the board of directors nor the CEO, then it would have been was. सबको ये rule clear हुआ? Always remember this, a very basic rule for or nor in whichever sentence. Let it be simply or, either or, neither nor. Whatever subject, singular or plural, happens to be besides these, they govern what verb we are going to use.
Excuse me,
Hmm?
the board of director, isn't it? The board is the subject.
No. Here the CEO, okay, and the board of directors, okay.
Okay.
So यहाँ पर this directors, this is another rule for subject verb agreement. Always remember this thing that whenever collective nouns or terms like these are being referred to or they get followed with uh, plural, that means we are treating each of the members individually.
So we are not collectively
Yes, they are
referring to the
not being
board.
referred. Yes, we are not doing that. We are taking them individually.
Okay.
So this is also another rule within subject verb agreement.
Can you give one more example of this type?
Let's say uh, the team is practicing on the ground. A very common sentence. So the team is practicing on the ground would mean that, okay, all of them are collectively on the ground practicing. Versus you might not hear this sentence that much because usually what we end up doing is, in order to neutralize the collective noun, I will end up using the team members. Okay. For example, the board of directors. Again, highlight the directors, the plural. The moment you add members, directors, these words together, yes, either I could have simply said the board,
Okay.
right? But I ended up using the board of directors. Now I end up using the team members. Okay, the team members are practicing.
Oh, that
Now,
okay.
this members that I use, it neutralizes the term and it implies that now maybe each member is doing their own thing. It's not a collective thing that is going on.
Okay. Got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. That's how structuring works. Got it, everybody? 15th also. Let's move.
Ma'am, could you
16th one is yet to be discussed. 16th
Achha,
question.
16th is left. Yes, yes, please. Yes, Anjali, you were saying something.
I was saying why can't we use that in the sentence? Like, could you just clarify that also once, like the difference between that and which?
That and which. Okay.
Yeah.
That and which, anybody? Just try if anybody has any clue.
I knew about that essential, non-essential thing,
Hmm.
but I can't see how that applies here.
See, it's not about just essential. It's very simple. That you will use for any restrictive clause. What is a restrictive clause? Anything that is paramount to your sentence. That without it, you cannot really do anything. So whenever you have to identify something, for example, if I end up telling you people, did you people read the book that I had recommended? The sentence is very simple. Did you people read the book that I had recommended? Now, here what became important? For me, it was very important to highlight the idea to you people that what is the essential information here? That, oh, this is the book that Ashita ma'am had referred. So that is your frame of reference. This information that I have referred a particular book becomes paramount. Without that, will the sentence have its own meaning? It will lose its essence, right? Now we come to which. Which always is to add extra information. That means which gives a sort of flexibility to the sentence. So I can say the book. Now you can say, let's say the book which Ashita ma'am had told about, and now structurally difference आएगा, ठीक है? The book, and just listen to my tone. So how will you construct the sentence? The book, comma, which Ashita ma'am had told about, comma, is not available in the bookstore. अब क्या हुआ? इस sentence में structurally, what happened in this sentence? The part which Ashita ma'am had told about becomes extra added information separated by two commas. Is everybody able to understand how the sentence got formed? So
Yes,
even
ma'am.
if I remove this particular part from my sentence remains intact. Got it? On the other hand, when I use a sentence with that, in that particular situation, essential information is one thing. Structurally, that never ends up using any comma and all of that.
Got it.
Understood?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
versus
Yes.
which? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, oh, it's almost time, guys. Let's do this. We'll continue with this particular. Oh, nobody's done. I just saw your message. It's almost time now for the next class to continue. So we'll continue this discussion in the next class. If you people have not saved your answers, I would suggest whatever device you have put up your answers on, or if it's in a notebook, keep it with you intact, whatever scoring has happened till now, because we'll continue with this discussion, wrap it up in the next session, and then move forward with the topic. Yes, yes.
Last class, I had requested you to please share the soft copy of the PDF that you shared on
Yes, the
screen.
yeah, the comparative
Yes,
analysis. I
yes,
have to, yeah, I'm going to do that.
okay,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
the reminder. Yeah,
Thank you. Good night.
okay. All right. All right, guys. Good night. I'm going to see you in the next class. Thank you so much. We'll continue with this discussion first, and then we'll move forward.
Thank you.